Hi, it's Kevin O'Malley, your Wilsonville Chamber of Commerce CEO, and I'm here with Kristen Rutherford, our Economic Development Manager. And where are we? We're out here off of Day Road. You might be wondering why. It's because of the ballots coming up. Measure 3, 468, the approval of the CoffeeCreek Urban Renewal District, official title. It's on your ballot, and here's a fast 2-minute primer on what you need to know before you vote. Kristen, first off, will this plan increase my taxes?
So voting in the creation of a new urban renewal district, and that's what this is, it's an advisory vote recommending the City Council create a new urban renewal district in CoffeeCreek,
Okay.
is not voting to increase taxes or to establish a new tax. Urban renewal relates to the division of taxes. So as you can see in this area behind us, there's a lot of undeveloped land out here in CoffeeCreek. So if you were to say take a 10-acre parcel that is valued at maybe $1 million,
Okay.
and you serve it with infrastructure and it redevelops into a parcel that's assessed at $10 million, that $9 million new assessed value, the taxes on that comes to the urban renewal district.
Okay.
And so it's how that money gets spent coming to the urban renewal district instead of going to the other taxing districts is what urban renewal is about and how it works. So it's not a new tax like a GO bond is.
Okay.
It can, in certain unique circumstances, have a very small incremental impact on taxes. The way Oregon tax law works in urban renewal law states that if there are outstanding general obligation bonds issued prior to 2001, that urban renewal can have a very, very slight impact. And as we've looked around the region at other communities that have taxing districts that have these old outstanding GO bonds, the impact is fractions of pennies per $1,000 of assessed value. So it is a very, very negligible amount of potential increase that could happen under that circumstance.
Very good. So practically speaking, I'm safe to say it's not going to increase my taxes, and I look at that as good news.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So you're an economic development professional, but probably like most of our viewers, I'm not. So can you describe to me in layman terms kind of what we're voting on for this election?
Sure. So this is an advisory vote. Our City Council has a past history of taking the creation of new urban renewal districts out for an advisory vote of the people. Yeah. Because while it doesn't increase your taxes or it's not imposing a new tax on the property owner, it does impact how the taxes that are collected are spent. So we want public input on that.
Okay.
Now, I will say that we have had a great deal of public input on this over the last couple of years, including input from the other taxing districts that would be affected. Okay. So we've had a task force in place for the last couple of years that has had representation from Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue and from the school board, the Westland-Wilsonville School Board. CoffeeCreek is in the Sherwood School District. Okay. We have done outreach to the Sherwood School District. But because the money would come to urban renewal, and then when the districts closed down, then it would return to the other taxing districts. All that assessed value would be split up, and those taxes would be distributed to all the taxing districts. They're going to forego those increase in taxes for a period of time. So we want their input, and it has been a recommendation of that task force and TVFNR and our school district that we create this district because of the job creation potential out here in CoffeeCreek. And because this isn't an area that would really increase demand on services. It's going to be an industrial area. We're not going to see new students out here. Residential development has a much greater demand on fire services and police services, and that's not what we're going to see here.
So stakeholders, major stakeholders are on board, yes. And it seems that one of the major advantages of a yes vote for the CoffeeCreek Urban Renewal District would be building public infrastructure with the goal of jump-starting the development of CoffeeCreek. What's the job potentials here at CoffeeCreek?
So we have completed a master plan of this site that established the need for public infrastructure investment, and that estimate's at about $65 million now. Okay. And by investing $65 million in public infrastructure to leverage private investment, we could see between 1,400 and 4,000 new jobs here. It completely depends on the type of development that occurs. If we see manufacturing development here, we're going to see much higher job creation. If it's a warehouse distribution development, then we're going to be lower in the 1,400, 1,500 jobs.
So even the conservative estimate of 1,400 as a business group, that's still a pretty significant substantial kind of a number.
Yeah, significant job creation, and then also significant growth in assessed value projected, because we're looking at an area that is less than $20 million of assessed value right now for the undeveloped part of Coffee Creek. In the urban renewal area, we're looking at bringing in some area that is developed to help us generate some tax flow or some increment the first few years. But at closure of this district, we're projecting over $700 million that would return to the tax rolls.
Wow, that's a big deal. So, is the development, and let me say this way, is Coffee Creek kind of unique? You do a lot of work statewide in economic development. It seems like kind of a unique area. Is that true?
Coffee Creek is very unique. First of all, we have an area that is not heavily impacted by wetlands or by brownfields that need to be remediated. So you have, we're not going to have complex permitting processes here like other areas in the state. It's right off of I-5, which is highly desirable. It's very, very flat, which makes it very developable. So it is unique from other industrial areas in the state in those aspects. The challenges here are that it's highly parcelized. There are over 30 different property owners out here, and that it has a feasibility gap in terms of that public infrastructure that's needed, that $65 million of public infrastructure. This area was brought into the UGB in 2002, master plan in 2007, and in the 13 years since it was brought into the UGB, we haven't seen this redevelopment happen just from the private sector. I mean, that gap needs to be bridged.
Okay, great. The city does not endorse any type of ballot measures. The Chamber, however, is in full support and does endorse a yes vote for Coffee Creek. We encourage you to think about the jobs and the economic development here and the greater good of the whole city. Any questions? Contact us at the WilsonvilleChamber.com. Thanks very much.
Thank you.